The war had been long, stretching across the stars like a relentless plague. Humanity, in its desperate bid to survive, had thrown its finest soldiers into the depths of the uncharted Andromeda expanse. Among them, Corporal Elias Drake stood out, not for his rank, but for his unshakable courage and quiet ingenuity. The soldiers of his unit joked that if you sent Elias into a tomb of alien horrors, he'd come back carrying a souvenir. It was during one of the deadliest campaigns that humanity had faced against the Thrylocs, a species whose body armor shimmered like black opal and whose claws could slice through steel, that Elias would earn a reward unlike any other. The mission had been straightforward. Infiltrate the Thrylocs' stronghold on the volcanic moon of Kareth, 9, and retrieve vital intelligence about their new weapon, a plasma cannon capable of obliterating orbital stations. Elias's squad was small but experienced, chosen for their resilience and skill in hostile environments. Kareth, 9 was a nightmare made flesh. The ground itself seemed alive, cracking and rumbling beneath every step, spewing molten streams like the planet's veins pumping magma. The Thrylocs were relentless, their screeches echoing across the barren landscape, striking fear even into seasoned soldiers. As his squad advanced, Elias noticed something unusual. A faint light pulsed deep within the cavern network of the stronghold, a soft luminescence that seemed almost alive. Ignoring the uneasy feeling in his gut, he signaled his squad to follow. The deeper they went, the more the alien architecture revealed itself. Organic and technological fused in a bizarre harmony, walls pulsated like veins, cables intertwined with sinewy tissue, and strange crystalline structures emitted a faint humming sound. It was a living fortress. Suddenly, the ground trembled violently. A massive Thrylocs commander appeared, its eyes burning like molten gold. The squad opened fire, plasma rounds sizzling through the air, but the creature was fast, dodging with an unnatural agility. One by one, Elias's teammates were pinned down or forced to retreat. Elias, however, pressed on. There was something in the pulsing light, a presence calling to him. He ducked into a narrow passage, evading the commander, until he reached a chamber that defied belief. In the center floated a tiny figure, no taller than a human child. Her skin shimmered with a pearlescent glow, eyes large and iridescent, and delicate wings curled behind her like gossamer threads of light. Despite her size, she radiated authority, a queen of some forgotten miniature kingdom. "You've come far, human," she said, her voice melodic yet commanding, vibrating in Elias's mind more than through sound. Most would have fled. Why do you persist? Elias lowered his weapon, awe-stricken. I don't know. Something drew me here. The tiny alien woman floated closer, her wings beating with impossible grace. I am Lyra, last of the Carathian court. Your bravery is noted. Few humans survive my world without succumbing to fear. For this, I grant you a reward, but it is not without consequence. Before Elias could respond, the chamber pulsed with energy, and in a flash, Lyra became visible in the size of a miniature doll in his palm. She was alive, breathing, and looking at him with curious intensity. You are to be my companion, protector, and friend, she explained. Though small in stature, my knowledge and power can alter the fate of your kind. Elias stared, stunned. A living, thinking alien, tiny and fragile, yet holding unimaginable potential. He felt a strange responsibility wash over him. I accept. But why me? You possess what my world values most, Lyra replied. Courage, honor, and a willingness to act when others hesitate. Many humans would see me as a curiosity or a prize. You see potential. From that moment, Elias's life changed. The journey back to human space was perilous. The Thrylocs were relentless, hunting him across the volcanic plains. But with Lyra's guidance, they navigated traps and ambushes that would have spelled doom for any ordinary soldier. Her knowledge of alien technology and instinct for survival allowed Elias to avoid countless hazards. The return to human command was met with disbelief. Reports spoke of a lone human navigating the Thryloc stronghold and returning with critical intelligence, and with him, a tiny alien being of immense power. Scientists clamored to study Lyra, while military strategists sought to exploit her abilities. But Elias refused to let anyone separate them. In the barracks, Lyra made her home, perched on Elias's shoulder or sliding into his pocket when he needed hands free. Despite her size, she exhibited the wit and cunning of someone far older than her appearance suggested. She could interface with computers through thought alone, decipher alien languages with ease, and even manipulate small objects with telekinetic precision. But the adjustment wasn't easy. Elias's comrades were skeptical, some hostile, and the press sensationalized the story. Human soldier brings back alien companion. Headlines screamed. Rumors spread of the tiny alien's abilities, of her healing powers, her telepathic control over machines, and her intelligence. Some officers considered her a weapon. Others feared she might be a liability. Elias ignored them all. Lyra was not a tool. She was his friend, his equal. Together, they trained, explored, and studied. Over time, the bond between them deepened. Lyra began to understand human emotion, marveling at the strange combination of fragility and resilience. Elias, in turn, learned to see the universe through her perspective, tiny but infinitely complex. One night, as they sat on the edge of the orbital platform, watching the stars stretch endlessly, Lyra spoke quietly. Elias, I am not just a reward, nor a companion. I am a bridge. My people, though diminished, hold knowledge that could save worlds. And you may be the first human to truly understand me. Elias nodded. And I promise, no one will ever use you as a weapon. Not while I'm alive. Their partnership soon proved invaluable. Using Lyra's abilities, Elias led missions that would have been impossible for ordinary soldiers. They infiltrated Thryloc supply lines, sabotaged their armories, and discovered weaknesses in their fleets. The war began to shift, not because of brute force, but because of strategy informed by intelligence that only Elias and Lyra could gather. Yet danger was never far. The Thryloc's commander, the one Elias had first faced on Kareth, 9, survived. Obsessed with reclaiming the intelligence and capturing Lyra, it launched a series of brutal attacks. During one ambush on a distant outpost, Elias was separated from the rest of the unit. The commander descended, massive claws slicing through the air. Lyra, sensing the imminent threat, acted. She darted forward, small but unstoppable, her body glowing with radiant energy. She struck the commander's sensory nodes, blinding it temporarily, allowing Elias to strike with his plasma blade. The battle was fierce, but their combined ingenuity overcame sheer power. After the skirmish, Elias looked at Lyra, exhausted but unhurt. You saved me again. Lyra tilted her head. And you protect me, human. We are equals. Different, yes, but partners. The war eventually ended, the Thrylocs defeated, and humanity began rebuilding. Lyra, now fully recognized as a unique sentient being, helped establish a new scientific council. Her insights into alien biology, technology, and interstellar diplomacy were invaluable. Elias continued to serve, not as a soldier of conquest, but as an ambassador, guiding humanity through a universe more complex than anyone had imagined. Life settled into a rhythm. Elias and Lyra traveled together, facing new worlds, strange cultures, and occasional threats. Their bond was unbreakable, an unusual friendship that defied norms, species, and expectations. One quiet evening, aboard a research vessel orbiting a blue and green planet, Lyra turned to Elias. "I have seen countless civilizations rise and fall, but humans, you are unique. Fierce, fragile, compassionate, and stubborn." Elias chuckled. "I suppose I learned from the best." "You mean me?" Lyra asked, wings flickering with soft light. "Partly," Elias admitted. "Mostly from facing danger together." Lyra hovered closer, resting lightly on his shoulder. "I never thought a human would see me, not as a trophy, not as a weapon, but as a companion. You have changed my world, Elias. And I hope one day I change yours too." Elias felt a strange warmth, a connection that transcended words. "You already have," he said softly. In the end, the reward he had received, the tiny alien woman, was more than a prize for bravery. She was a mirror of courage, intelligence, and trust. Their adventures continued, shaping the course of human and alien history alike, proving that true reward is not measured in size, power, or victory, but in bonds forged in the heart of chaos. And so, among the stars, Elias Drake and Lyra of Kerith, 9 became legends, not for their victories alone, but for the enduring partnership between a human soldier and a tiny alien woman who could change the fate of galaxies.